Welcome back to Cockburn Ice Arena, folks. This is Chris Langell bringing you the play-by-play of this second Ginsberg game of the day between Western Australia and Victoria. Victoria, the designated home team for this game, defending the goal to camera right. WA, camera left, the visiting team. Joining me in the box, but not talking, Matt Gregory. The linesman will be the penalty timekeep attendant, so any mistakes, blame him. That's what we always do with the referees anyways, isn't it? Welcome, Matt. Thanks for doing this. Lineups for WA, the visiting team. Number 6, Kai Williams. Number 7, Wes Bavin. Number 8, Rowan McNamara. Number 9, Colin Barber. Number 11, Wayne Yao. Number 12, Kaylee Scrow. Number 13, George Picano, the captain. Number 15, Reggie Bowers. Number 17, Elijah Wu. Number 33, Amelia Farrell. Number 55, Harrison Buderek. Number 61, Hyson Huang. Number 66, Timothy Wang. Number 71, Quinn Franklin. Number 77, Ezra Poe. 91, Morris Liu. Number 34, Anderson Magro, the goaltender. And number 86, Benjamin Smith. Also the goaltender. We'll get the starting goaltenders in a minute for both teams. Head coach Paul Graham, assistants Darren Coach and Finley Gordon, and team manager Taryn Barber. For the hometown designated for this game team, Victoria, number 1, Colby Smith, the goaltender. Number 86, Julian Baumgartner. Number 4, Cohen Freeman. Number 5, Will Giles. Number 7, Max Gargano. Number 8, Jack Dillon. Number 13, Essence Wishart. Number 16, Archie Robertson. Number 23, Dmitry Kochergin. Number 24, Billy Lichter. Number 32, Jacques Kai. Number 37, Marcus Sandy, the captain. Number 72, Alfie Webster. Number 73, Parker Barnes. Number 77, Marcel Rosa. Number 78, Christian Borg. Number 81, George Humke. Number 85, Max Doser. Number 88, Enzo Bonato. And number 96, Jack Zhang. The head coach, James Galdes. Assistant coaches, Giancarlo Bonato and Josh Page. The officials for today's game, referee Jake O'Brien. On the lines, Luke Power and Vince Giblin. So this game is the fifth game for both teams. Western Australia tops the standings with a 3-win and 1 overtime record for 10 points. Victoria, a 3-win and 1 loss record for 9 points. That loss coming, I believe, to Western Australia. Goaltender leaders, Julian Baumgartner. So WA, if they're facing Baumgartner today, is up against a top goaltender. Magro. And for WA, we've got Magro second in the goaltending statistics with a save percentage of .938. On the special teams for today's game, WA, with only a 15% power play success rate, 3 goals. Victoria, a 30% success rate, again with 3 goals, but in fewer opportunities. On the penalty kill, both teams on 84%. And Victoria with 3 shorthanded goals for Western Australia with 2 shorthanded goals against. So we'll see if those special teams come into play with these two young sides as they get set for the opening whistle, finishing off their warm-ups. That previous game, an exciting finish in the shootout. New South Wales over Queensland 2-1 as Queensland tied the score late with about 2:31 to go on a goal by the captain Wimet, assisted by Ord Abatangelo. So we'll look forward to an exciting contest for this afternoon's game, or this morning's game. Third game of the day, second for the Ginsberg tournament. 11:35 start time. It was 11:30 start time. It was supposed to be 11 a.m. start time. And that last game ran over a bit because of the shootout. So we're at 11:38. Puck's being passed towards the officials as they dodge pucks and kick them up into the center red line for collection and the start of this first period. Good day for hockey. The sun is shining outside. The rink is cold. The ice is hard. Good ice here at Cockburn Ice Arena. Full Olympic-size rink. So it should be a good game. Teams are going to have to catch up to that puck early as it will slide far and fast. Work on that breakout, getting those passes tape to tape, and getting forwards in on the forecheck to try and create opportunities. Working as a team is the key to success in this game. Occasionally individual efforts help, but it's the team game that generates success. WA is ready. Pecino or Pekino in on the draw against number 85 for Victoria, Enzo Bonato. Or Max Doser, sorry. Number 85, Max Doser on the draw. Won by Doser, but Pecino picks it up to the blue line. Keeps his foot, his teammate keeps his foot on the blue line, not offside. Franklin dumps it in deep. Back for it is number 23, Kajurgan to the front of the net. Picked off by WA. Pekino, gets it out into the neutral zone. Back comes Victoria, that's number 73. Takes a shot, blocked. Puck is loose. Pekino picks it up behind the goal. Up onto the wing, on the breakout. Nice breakout pass. Wang, he gets it forward. Kachurgan, he puts it behind the net. Out comes Victoria, picked off, blocked, knocked out to the blue line. Down comes Victoria, 2-on-1. That's Doser. He gets it off the shin pads of the WA defense, number 71. Down he goes. Doser picks it up on the half board, back to the blue line. Kachurgan gets it to the net and frozen by the goaltender. That's number 34 in the WA net, Anderson Magro. And number 86 in the Victoria net, Julian Baumgartner. The number 1 and number 2 goaltenders of this tournament. 13:30 to go. The clock ran through. It's supposed to be stop time. So Coach Paul Graham looks for clarification. Webster, he fires it in. It goes off the top of the boards, picks it up, takes the shot. That gets deflected high and wide. Back into the corner. Poe gets it to the blue line, not out. Still in the zone. Victoria keep it in. And back with it goes number 55. He rims it around the boards. That's number 9. Intercepted to the blue line, but kept in by Webster. Webster goes to the net, takes the shot off the blocker of Magro. In behind the goal, to the front of the net. It's sitting there loose. Magro had to be sharp on that, as he had number 22, I think that is, from Victoria. 23, Kachurgan on the doorstep. 32, Kai. Apologies. Face off to the left of the goaltender. Both teams making changes. Number 16, Robertson, in against number 17, Wu, on the face-off. Back into the neutral zone it goes. Up onto the half boards. Back to the D. Chipped to the blue line. Not out. Kept in. Good keep in. Off the blocker of Magro. Oh, and he gets that off the pad. Back to the front of the net. Couple great chances by Victoria. Puck comes back to Robertson. He brings it to the front of the net. Tries to get it across the slot. Chipped off the boards. Yo can't get it out. Now comes Wu down the middle of the ice. Has the puck taken off his stick by Bonato. He goes behind the net, rims it around the boards to the point. Farrell keeps it in. In behind the Victoria net. Stay set up, trying to break it out. Up onto the half boards. Robertson He skates it to Bonato. Bonato, he pushes it forward and skates onto it. Back comes Victoria on the attack down the right side into the corner. With it is Dillon. Stolen by WA out to the blue line on the breakout. Off the skate of Yao. Back to the blue line. Dillon picks it up. 3-on-2. They're in. To the front of the net. Bonato takes the shot off the chest of the WA goaltender, Magro. Rebound, fire down the ice, and that'll go for icing. Coach Paul Graham very professionally predicting that icing call. He's just to my left on the bench. Face off to the right of Magro. Doser in after it. Against, I think that's McNamara. Face off won by Doser to the blue line. To the front of the net. Blocked off the stick of the WA player. Stolen by Victoria. Back to the front of the net. Stolen again as WA can't get control of it. Good pressure by Victoria. Behind the goal to the front of the net. Puck is loose. Back with it comes WA. That's number 86, I think it is. Or 88. 66, Wang. Finally got the number right. Victoria back into the WA zone. 96 over the blue line. Gets it into the corner. Number 71, Franklin. He gets it to the Victoria gets it to the front of the net, but back comes Wang over to Williams. Williams winds up, takes the wrist shot right into the glove of goaltender Julian Baumgartner. There'll be a face-off deep in the Victoria zone. 5-0 so far. Shots on goal for Victoria. WA just not able to get it to the front of the net, although they have had some zone time. Face-off win by Victoria. Behind the goal it goes. That's number 13, Wishart. Up onto the wing. Chipped back into the zone. Picked up on the boards by number 6 for WA. Williams. Chipped again off the boards. Back to the blue line. Kept in by WA to the front of the net. The captain, he spins around, takes the shot just wide and low. Back to the front of the net. And Victoria picks it up. That's their big gun, number 23. Kachurgrin. Into the zone it goes. Kachurgrin lurking out in the slot to the front of the net. Victoria get the shot on net, a great blocker save, and back comes WA. Pacino gets the puck knocked off his stick. Back comes Victoria, back to the middle of the ice, so the backhand pass fired by number 37 for Victoria, wide. Good back check by WA to the blue line. Wishart just keeps it into the blue line. Fires it behind the net. Franklin in pursuit of number 4, Freeman. Kachurgin back to Freeman. Back to the front of the net. Loose, scores! Bang, bang play from the corner. In behind the net, out to number 32, I believe that is, Jacques Kai. He buries it for the opening goal with 9:29 to go in the period. You can see on the rebound, or the replay, excuse me, as that puck is fed from just behind the goal directly onto the stick of Kai, and he buries it. Off the draw, WA, they get it into the zone. They're back looking for the tying goal. D to D. Up to number 73. He can't get it out of the zone. Bonato takes it back in behind his goal. Poe in pursuit. Fires it up onto the back or half boards. 91, Morris Liu goes down. Off the skate of the linesman. Back to the middle of the ice. Victoria now struggling. Over the blue line, and that goes for offside as number 77, Poe, was trapped inside the goal, inside the blue line. Face-off win. WA gets it into the zone. Retrieved by Bonato. Gets it to the blue line. Picked up at the blue line. Can't get out of the zone. Bavin. Back into the corner it goes. That's Poe. Gets it behind the goal. Out comes WA to the blue line. Picked up at the blue line. That's Lou. He goes on down the right side. Cutting to the net. To the front. Rimmed around the boards as that goes wide. Kept in at the blue line by number 55. The WA player's taken out. To the front of the net. That was deflected in front by the defense. Misses. Back to the blue line. Bavin. He gets it, keeps it in. Loses the battle and out it comes over the blue line. 2-on-2. Back comes Victoria. Cutting to the net. Takes the shot. That goes off the shoulder of Magro and doesn't know where it is. Back to the slot. The pass to the center of the ice just misses the man. Up onto the blue line. That's number 91, Lou. He goes across the line. Good back check by Victoria. Fired high and wide. McNamara back to the front of the net. And back comes Bonato down the left side over the blue line. Barber tries to get the stick puck off him. Deflects to the front of the net. Bavin, he overskates it. Doser, he picks it up behind the goal. Gets it to the slot. Barber picks it up. Tries the pass up to Bavin, but he's going for a change. Long shift for him. Picked up again by Barber, or McNamara. He takes it in, tries to get it to the front of the net. Checked by number 73 for Victoria. Taken behind the goal. Good move by the WA forward. Gets it to the front of the net, and that's blocked. Fired down the ice. That might go for icing, and it does. No icing, as in the judgment of the linesman. The WA defense coming back. It's slowed down. To the front of the net, fired on goal from the point. That's Farrell behind the goal, being tied up by the Victoria forechecker. Up onto the half boards. McNamara can't pick it up. Back into the zone. WA having a hard time clearing it, and Magro's seen enough. Puts it in the glove and freezes it for a stoppage. One nothing the score. 8-1 shots on goal in favor of Victoria. Face-off win by Victoria. Again, Kai wide open in front of the net. He goes back into the corner himself and picks it up. Off the back of the boards. Tries the reverse to the front. Kai, he makes the move at the half boards. Give and go back to the front of the net. That goes all the way back to Kachurgan. Back in behind the goal. Victoria. Good forechecking as they've got pressure on. Out comes WA. That's McNamara. He gets it over the red line. Has his stick lifted. Back comes Victoria. That's Sandy. Takes the shot low off the toe and wide to the blue line. Victoria to the front of the net. Puck is loose on the side. McNamara goes after it. Just chips it out into the slot. Can't get control of it. Back comes number 4, Freeman. Gets it to the slot. Fired into the glove. Magro again has to be big on that save. 5:03 to go in this first period. One nothing the score. 5:23. The clock gets reset. Out comes WA. Breaking out of the zone with a bit of speed up through the middle. Over onto the wing to Wang. Wang crosses the blue line. Gets it to the blue line. Back comes Victoria as that goes off a stick. Back into the zone. Number 61 for WA. Takes it to the left side. Fires it. That goes off the glove of Baumgartner and bounces behind the goal. Back to the blue line. High slot. Williams takes a shot. That bounces wide. Back forward is number 24 for Victoria, Lichter, to the point. Out comes Victoria on the partial break, one-on-one. Makes the move, knocked off the stick of the Victoria forward right into the chest pad of Magro. That was number 88, Bonato, going in. Good defensive play to knock that stick loose, or puck loose. Face off to the right of Magro, 4:41 to go. Won by WA onto the half boards, chipped to the blind, but not out. Kept in by Doser, picked off. Williams, he's got a breakaway. He's got Bonato coming back hard, trying to lift the stick. Williams has his stick lifted, and the puck rolls in on goal for a stoppage as Baumgartner freezes it. Good defensive play by Bonato to get back on Williams. Just lifted his stick enough that he couldn't get anything on the shot. Fault start by Doser. Won by him. Around the boards it goes. Just failed to keep it in at the blue line. D to D, intercepted by number 7 for Victoria. Gargano over the blue line to the front of the net. Doser gets it to the front of the net. Nice little move. And Magro freezes it. Another good chance for Victoria. Magro's had to be sharp in this first period. Baumgartner not seeing as much rubber. But when he gets a shot on goal, he's solid. Face off to the left of the WA goaltender. In the zone, out comes WA. Another partial break. Pushed past number 5. And knocked down is number 9 for WA as the puck rolled in offside. Lou looking for a call. He was taken down by number 5 for Victoria, Will Giles. Face-off win. WA. Babin pushes it ahead. Buderick, he gets it forward. Babin can't get it onto his stick. Back comes Sandy. Takes the shot into the glove of Magro. It was going wide, but smothered it nonetheless for the stoppage. 3:55 to go in this first period. Lots of WA blankets up on the wall. Good crowd for a Friday morning. School holidays, of course. Face-off won by Victoria. Back to the front of the net. Doser, he goes down. Again, looking for a call, not called. Up onto the wing. That's Poe. Kuchergin, he cuts him off and picks up the puck behind the net, protecting the puck with his hand, or stick with his hand. Reverses behind the goal into the corner. Out comes 72, up onto the wing. Good stick by Lou. Into the corner, to the front of the net. That bounces. Back comes WA. Up onto the wing with speed. Poe drops it off into the goaltender. And Victoria, they try and get it out off the stick of the WA player. Back to the blue line. Buderick, he picks it up. Up onto the wing. To Poe. Poe misses it. In it goes into the Victoria zone. Up onto the wing. That's number 8, Dylan. He takes it over the line, protecting the puck with his body. Back to the blue line. Picked off. Yao. He goes back after it. Kuchergin puts the shoulder into him and steals the puck. And back he comes on the rush. Over the blue line, into the zone, makes the move down the slot. Can't get control of it. Gets it to the front of the net. Runs into the goaltender. But back comes WA. Down the right side. Yao gets to the blue line, makes a move. Can't get control of it. Bonato picks it up. Farrell, she gets it up to the center of the ice. Dylan back with it over the blue line. Passes it across to Dylan. Nice toe save. And into the pads of Magro on the rebound. As following up on the play was Robertson. The puck sat there and he tried to get it past Magro and couldn't. 2:01 to go in this first period. 13-3 the shots now on goal in favor of Victoria. 1-0 the score. Lichter fires it to the net, bounces down. Scramble puck, wide of the goal. That was number 85 with the attempt. Doser, he can't get it to go. Back into the corner. McNamara tries to get it up into the middle of the ice. Again, battling for it. Off the stick, to the point. Fired back into the corner. That's Lichter. Fired to the front of the net, deflected out to the blue line. They can't get it out. Victoria putting some pressure on. Again, back to the front of the net, deflected off a stick, and that goes high and over the glass into the netting behind the goal. 1:25 to go in the period. Both teams going for a change. In on the draw, Wes Bavin up against number 37, the captain for Victoria, Sandy. Face-off scramble. Into the corner it goes. Wu picks it up to the blue line, not out. Winds up for a shot. That goes off the body of the WA player, Wu, into the zone. Number 11 goes in ahead of the puck. Didn't have it under control. And that'll go for a stoppage. Offside at the blue line. That was number 17, not 7, Elijah Wu. Face-off one into the Victoria zone. Long for WA. Thought of pinching. Thought better of it and backed off. And Victoria fired down the ice for an icing call.
So line up on the top of the circle to the left. That's your right. That's not the top.
Face off to the right of Baumgartner, or left of Baumgartner, my right. Coach Paul Graham yelling left and right from the bench has confused me. Back into the slot, picked off by Victoria. They can't get it out. To the blue line, battle for it. Now it comes out. Wang, nice move as he pulls it back into his body and across the blue line. Gets it to the front of the net. Good defensive play. To the blue line, and that goes all the way down the ice. That's not going to go for icing as played by Magro. Up into the slot. Williams picks it up. He's got Dillon on him. To the blue line. Pacino, he can't get a hold of it, and it's fired back into the WA zone. 20 seconds to go in this first period. Dillon gets it behind the net, just fires it to the front of the goal. Racing to catch up to it at the blue line is Wishart. Keeps it in. Up onto the half boards. 10 seconds to go. WA with a 2-on-1. Williams, he makes the move, tries to get it to the front of the net. And Kuchergin gets it up onto the wing, and that'll do it for the first period as the horn sounds for the end of the period. So an exciting first period of action between WA and Victoria, the number 1 and number 2 teams in the division so far after 4 games. The first period goal by Kai assisted by Freeman and Kuchergin, with 8:29 or 9:29 to go, made it 1-0 for Victoria. That was the only scoring of the period. No penalties. 13-3 shots on goal, with Victoria definitely getting the advantage in terms of zone time and shots on goal. Can you keep that open for the second period? Sorry again. Technical difficulties for me as my phone got bricked today. As I dropped it on the floor, broke the screen, so I'm relying on others' phones to go. Get the statistics for you, so that might be a bit delayed, but Matt Gregory's on top of it here in the box. Both teams ready for the second period, and again, nice to see Baumgartner and Magro touch the gloves as they go past each other. Nice sign of respect and sportsmanship between the goaltending fraternity. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. Fun and sportsmanship. Hey, the competition is there as well. Off the draw, pushed ahead by Victoria over the blue line. Back after it is number 16. That's Robertson. Gets it to the front of the net. Past the blue players, and Wishart, she falls down. Back in goes number 66 with it to the front of the net. Pacino, he gets it back to the front. Wide open cage, but picked up by Dillon as he comes back down on the rush. Down the left side, loses control of it, tries to get it to Robertson. Picked off by WA. Dumps it deep into the zone as number 71, Franklin, didn't see Pacino breaking up the middle of the ice. Pacino, he chips it back. Blocked by Dillon into the corner. Up onto the wing. Up to Bonato. Bonato at center. He crosses the blue line, takes the shot off the pad into the corner. Back comes number 6 for WA. Williams up to the blue line. Up to Wang as Pacino tipped it off to him. And that puck slides over the line behind Williams, and that'll go for offside. Change on the play for WA. Victoria, one change. Webster comes on the ice. Back into the zone. Doser, he can't get it off his skates. He does now. Stops at the blue line. Kept in. Wide open is Poe. Takes the shot right into the breadbasket. That bounces wide. And Baumgartner had to be solid on that as Poe put the initial shot into the chest pad. The rebound came out, and he just bounced it in front of him. And he had to smother it for the stoppage. WA's first real solid chance of this game. 13:42 to go in the second period. 3 quick shots by WA. 14-6 now. To the front of the net again. Whoa, he can't get a shot away. Good defensive play. The puck is loose. WA threatening. Back to the blue line. A slap shot, kind of fanned on and fired back down the ice. Zhang, he can't get a stick on it. That's going to go for icing. So WA with a bit of a pushback, and we've seen that in the previous games in this tournament. They've come out a little bit slow, and late in the game, often in the second period, they put the burners on. They've come back a couple of times. A late tie last night, 3:21 to go. Unfortunate loss for WA in the shootout. Face off to the left of Baumgartner. Again, won by Victoria. Out they come, down into the middle of the ice. That's 96. Zhang to the blue line. Back into the zone. Picked up by number 55 to the net. Magro, he freezes it. There'll be a stoppage. As lurking at the far blue line, 77 Poe, looking for that breakout pass to get in behind the Victoria defense. Faceoff comes back into the zone to the left of the goaltender. Number 17, Wu. Up against number 37, I think that is, Sandy, the captain. Won by Wu. Controlled now by Victoria as it comes back to the front of the net, and Freeman Farrell just got her stick on that to prevent Freeman getting it. Back into Farrell. Goes into the corner, looking for that pass to the front of the net. And again, on the back door in this case, Kai. Back to the blue line, Lichter. He gets it, fires it into the corner. Off the skates of the WA player. Farrell can't get it out. It's loose again in the slot. Victoria now pressing. Sandy off of his stick. Behind to Freeman. Over to Sandy. He gets it to the front of that. That bounces across the goal line. Freeman picks it up in the corner. Fires it to the front of the net. Puck is loose. Back into the corner it goes. To the blue line, but not out. And now comes WA. They get it over the blue line. They're going down 2-on-1. Can't get it to the front of the net. That's number 11. Zhang picks it up. Or Wu. In behind the goal. McNamara after it. And that gets fired into the WA bench for a stoppage. Great chance there by WA. Good back check by the Victorian defense. I didn't make out that number. Got the stick on the puck and forced the puck off to the side. Face off to the right of Baumgartner. Pacino in against Robertson. Won by Pacino. Robertson picks it up. Chips it ahead. Down comes Kuchergin. He gets it onto the wing. Williams back to the blue line. Pacino. Down the wing he goes. Fires a pass across to number 66, Wang. Picked up now by Kuchergin. He brings it back down the ice to the blue line into the WA zone. Farrell gets it out. Robertson back to Kuchergin. Pacino on Bonato. Bonato makes the move, gets it to the blue line inside the zone, passes it off into Dillon. Dillon, he chips it behind the goal. Robertson waiting for it. Rimmed back around to the corner. Borg tapping his stick at the point, looking for the pass. It's back behind the WA goal to the blue line again. Kuchergin makes a move at the blue line, winds up from outside the dots. Back to him it goes, takes another shot. That gets blocked by WA. Kept in at the blue line. Behind the goal. Back to the blue line. Kuchergin makes another move. 2 WA players on him. Back to the high slot. Picked off. And back comes WA. Good stick by the defense as it chipped off. 2 Victoria players run into each other. Pacino gets the shot blocked to the front of the net. It's loose. Pacino has the puck, back to the slot, it's loose, and back comes Victoria on the break, 3-on-2. Kuchergin gets it over the line to the front of the net, takes the shot, that gets blocked. Frantic action here at both ends of the ice. WA trying to get it out of the zone. Good play by the Victoria forechecker, back behind the goal. Zhang with pressure, back comes WA to the middle of the ice. Good play by the defense. Bavin, he can't get his stick on it. Lou picks it up on the half boards. He makes a move at the blue line, gets it to the blue line, but unfortunately for WA, Poe, a bit over anxious, goes over the line, offside.
When you're going for those battles, you keep it to one, you've got more.
Some encouragement and instruction by the coach. Face off outside the Victoria line. Lou ties up his man, but picking it up is Doser. Down onto the wing. Loses control of it, goes down on one knee. Picked up, that's contact with a high stick behind the goal. Victoria touches it first. Rimmed around the boards. Poe, he picks it up. Out comes WA. Up onto the wing, that's Lou. He's breaking down the right side. Lichter, he dies for it. Giles, that was Will Giles, number 5. Forced the play. Lou looking to get that shot on goal. And Giles putting just enough pressure on him that he had to hurry the shot. And on the draw, Bavin up against Sandy. Bavin ties up the stick of Sandy. Puck is loose. He fires it into the corner. Picked up by Victoria. To the blue line, not out. Bavin gets it off his stick. Back to number 91, Morris Liu, to the blue line, and out comes Sandy down the right side. In on, hits the skate of the WA player in front. Back to the blue line, fired on goal, right into the glove of Magro. Going down in the butterfly to trap it in the big trapper. Face off to the left of the goaltender. Off the draw, one back to the blue line. Kept in by Rosa. Back into the zone. Fire to the blue line. Kept in again by Rosa. He steps up. Fires it to the net. Puck is loose. Good chance. They score off the rebound. 2 whacks at it. And into the goal. That's number 37. Marcus Sandy, the captain. He bangs in the rebound for a 2-0 Victoria lead. On the change. That's number 37. The captain, Marcus Sandy, assisted, I believe he said, by number 24, Billy Lichter. 2-0 the score, 8:39 to go in this second period. Victoria out shooting WA, 20-8. Back into the corner it goes. Franklin can't get it. Slides out in front of the net. Back to the half boards. Kept in at the blue line. Rimmed around the boards. Franklin behind the net. He reverses up onto the half boards to Williams. Williams gets the puck blocked. Ward picks it up at the red line. Tips it up to the blue line. And that was slowed by the stick of Pequeno and forces an offside at the blue line. Victoria off the boards and into the WA zone. Williams trying to get it out. Victoria have been very good and very effective of keeping the puck in the zone and preventing WA from getting out to the front of the net. Oh, and that gets blockered wide by Magro. WA still trying to get out of the zone. Now they do finally. Down the ice, Pequeno takes it wide to the left. On goal, takes the shot high into the glove of the goaltender. And that'll bring a face-off deep in the Victoria zone. Good job by the Victoria defenders, keeping Pequeno wide, preventing him from getting around and in our breakaway, forcing him to take that long, high shot. Typically, the long, low shot off the pads for a rebound is a very desirable outcome as well. Off the draw, scrambled. Won by Victoria, and out they come. That's 96 for Victoria. Zhang, he crossed the blue line, cuts to the net, gets it to the front of the net. Oh, and that gets deflected wide in front. That's Doser with a stick on the puck. WA struggling to get control of that puck in their zone. Fired back to the front of the net. Misses everybody out to the blue line. Webster keeps it in. WA up the middle. That's to Lou. He's got a break, partial break. Kachurgan gets back and takes it off him. He spins around, back up the ice. He goes up onto the left wing. Zhang gets it over the blue line. Tied up by the WA defender. Doser gets it to the front of the net, takes the high shot as number 7 was in front, creating havoc. One in the corner. Out comes number 77. He gets taken down. Number 7, Wes Bavin, and he gets taken down, and Victoria will go to the box for a WA power play for interference. 6:32 to go in this period. Number 85 for Victoria, Max Doser will get 2 minutes for interference, putting WA on the power play. Pequeno in against Robertson. Williams, McNamara, Huang, and Franklin on this power play. Fired over the glass, deflected. That'll go for another face-off. Face-off won by Victoria. Through the legs of Franklin. He puts it on the boards, back up to the red line. Back into the Victoria zone. Fired off the boards. Again, to the red line. That's number 8, McNamara. Can't get control of it. Good forechecking by Robertson as that goes onto the half boards. Back comes Pequeno. Out over the blue line, harassed. Over to number 6, Williams. Free in front. Backhand shot as McNamara just missed that chance. To the blue line, that gets fired off the arm of Coach Paul Graham into Matt Gregory, and then just missing me here in the penalty box. And that'll come for a face-off back in the Victoria zone. Face-off to the right of Baumgartner. Wu in against Sandy. Won by Victoria and then fired down the ice. Chasing after it is Bonato and Franklin. Franklin gets it. He puts it off the boards. Picked off by Sandy. Good stick by the WA player. Pequeno, he gets it. Sandy picks it up inside the zone. Good stick by the defense to get it off him, but still sitting in the WA zone as they can't get out of the zone. Just under a minute to go in this power play. Not much zone time for WA. Good forecheck pressure on the penalty kill. You can see why they've got 3 shorthanded goals so far. Back to the blue line. Williams, he fires it to the middle of the ice to Sandy. He just turns around and fires it towards the goal. Back into the corner. Bonato. Kuchergin keeps it in at the line. Chips it back behind the goal to Bonato. He brings it to the front of the net. Tries the jam play. Trying to catch Magro off his post. Fired into the corner. Good pressure again by Victoria on this power play. Penalty over. All even, 5-on-5. Good move at the blue line again by Kuchergin. He takes the shot right into the pads of Magro. It's loose in front. Victoria looking for the rebound. Off the back of the net by McNamara. Puck is sitting there, still loose. Fired to the front of the net. Off of Williams, he brings it out. Robertson gets his stick on it. Back to the middle of the ice, kept in. Good play by Sandy. Victoria really pouring it on here, putting the pressure. The puck comes to the front of the net. Off the skate of the WA player, and that deflects into the goal past Magro. You could almost say inevitable with that pressure Victoria was putting on the WA team in their zone. Looks like Sandy might be getting credit for that goal. Back to the front of the net. Looks like it came off a skate and deflected back into the goal. Just missed that replay on the screen, but you guys would have seen it on the stream. Back to center ice is the face-off. Bavin, he's just offside as WA had a shot there. Face-off just outside the Victoria zone. 3:48 to go in this second period. Tied up, back to the blue line. 2 WA players run into each other. Doser, he comes over the line. Down the right side. Back into the corner. Oh, overskated by the defense, and catching an edge was Wes Bavin as he goes down, had a break. At the blue line, WA still trying to get it out of the zone. Doser into the corner. Barber on him. Bavin up against the boards, trying to win that puck. 5 players in there. Down the wing to the front of the net. Past the slot. That was pass number 55 for WA. Fired to the blue line. Wishart keeps it in. Back down the ice it goes. A race for it. No icing as Franklin gets to it. Out in front to number 9, 91. Off his skates. Back comes Victoria. Zhang up to Doser. Tries to make the move. Picked off. Back comes 91 for WA. Makes the long pass up under the wing. 71 takes the shot. Franklin right on goal. Or 77 Poe, I should say, with that shot. As WA had a mini break, but one and done takes the shot. It's smothered, and Baumgartner gets a face-off to the left. 2:31 to go. 25-11. Shots on goal in favor of Victoria. 3-0 the scoreline. Victoria, they get it out of the zone. Doing a much better job than WA of getting the puck out of their zone consistently. Behind the goal, stolen. No harm as Victoria recovers in the slot. Down the wing goes Freeman. He cuts back towards the middle. Back down the right side. Fires it in behind the goal. Sandy after it. Poe, he gets it. Out he comes. Mini break now. Him and Lou over the blue line. Loses control of it. Back to the middle of the ice. Picked off by number, I believe that was 77 for Victoria. Spinning around is Barber. Loses control of it. Inside the zone. Poe can't get control of it. Back comes Victoria. Sandy, the captain, over the line. Down the left side. Gets it to the front of the net. Oh, and just missing that deflection in front was Kai. Fired out to the blue line again. Kept in. Number 5 to the front of the net. This time Magro freezes it for a stoppage. 1:17 to go in the period. Face off back to the right of Magro. Won by Victoria. Back to the blue line. Ticked off the stick of Bonato, I think that is. He gets it to the front of the net. One-timer, fired, just sits on the edge of the crease. Back comes WA now. They get it to the line again, not out of the zone. Pacino, again, they're out finally over the zone. Victoria coming back into the neutral zone. Onto the wing. Robertson picks it up, dumps it off to Dillon. That's picked off. Now Pacino, 1-on-2. Down the right side, tries to cut back to the middle, loses the puck, gets it back, it's loose. Behind the net, into the corner it goes, back to the blue line, Huang keeps it in. Pacino, he can't get control of it, now he does, fires the puck, that goes wide. WA with a mini pushback here. Around the boards it goes, to the blue line, Huang, he gets it to the front of the net, puck's sitting there loose, Baumgartner tries to pounce on it. Williams back to the front. He fans on the shot. Rimmed around the boards. Kept in at the blue line. Huang. He dumps it across the ice. And that'll be cleared. 7 seconds to go. Down the ice to the blue line. Bonato. And that'll just about do it as the horn sounds. And we'll end the second period. Wow. So scoring in that second period. Number 37, Sandy from Freeman at 8:39 to make it 2-0. And then a shorthanded goal. Again, the captain, Sandy, his 6th of the tournament from Bonato with 3:52 to go. No penalty, or one penalty to that in that period to Doser. Interference, resulting in the shorthanded goal. Shots on goal that second period, 14-8 in favor of Victoria. WA with 8 shots that period, catching up a little bit, but still struggling to match Victoria for offensive zone pressure. 2-period total of 27-11. After the ice cut, we'll be back to bring you this exciting third period for Cassandra Edwards, the cameraman whose name I forget again. And this is Chris Langell. We'll see you then. Welcome back, hockey fans. Chris Lanzo bringing the play-by-play. Exciting period or action between Victoria and WA. Getting set for the third period. Victoria up 3-0. Earlier in the tournament, in the first game between these two teams, Victoria was up 2-0, I believe, going into the third. And WA came back to tie and then win it. I don't know, 3 goals is a bit more of a mountain to climb, and they haven't really been that effective in connecting between teammates. So we're waiting for the last few seconds of the clock to run off. And there it is. It's reset. Linesman Vince Giblin. Yeah, that second period goals again. Sandy, 2 goals, one from Freeman, one from Bonato, with a short-handed goal to make the score 3-0. 27-11 shots on goal. Back into the WA zone. Freeman, or Victoria zone. Freeman gets it out along the boards. Down comes Sandy, down the left side. Got a man breaking to the front of the net. Kai wide open. There it is. Can't get it to go. And Magro pounces on that loose puck. That's Kai, number 32 for Victoria. That's the 3rd or 4th time that he's been wide open in front of the net like that. And 2 or 3 players of the WA side going at the Victoria rushing forward on that play, leaving him wide open. Off the draw, 1 over the net. That hits the netting by the Zamboni gates, but that netting is inside the zone, over the blue line. Poe, he goes back after it. Stick by a Victoria player, knocks it off his stick. He does get it behind the goal to 91. Morris Liu can't catch up to it. He's got 72 for Victoria. Alfie Webster. And back comes Victoria. Dillon over the blue line. He's got Bonato with them trailing, but there's 4 yellow jerseys back. To the blue line. Stick on the puck. Fire to the front of the net. Deflected and loose in front. Picked up by WA. They can't get it out. Puck bouncing away off of legs. And back comes Pacino. Or that's Poe. 3-on-2 now. Over to Bavin. He can't get it. Overskates it as it's stuck to this wet ice off the first period ice cut, or second period ice cut. Bavin gets it across the crease. Picked up on the right side by McNamara. He gets it to the front of the net. But Victoria pick it up and down the ice it goes. Dillon back on the attack. He's got Doser with him. He cuts back towards the middle of the slot. Stolen, and back comes WA. Both teams taking turns on the rush. Fired on goal. Picked up by Victoria, back into the corner. That's McNamara, I think, up against the Victoria player. Back to the blue line. Williams takes the long shot. Scores! As that goes through the legs of goaltender Baumgartner. From the blue line, Williams gets the pass. And on the replay, we'll see here, passed out of the zone to the blue line. Williams just takes a shot. And it's fluttering a bit, drops right in front of the goaltender. Through the pads for a 3-1 score. A bit of life in WA now. Victoria remembering the earlier game and how WA came back. Needs to be sharp now. Fired into the zone. Back comes WA looking for more. That's number 17 over the line. Battling along the boards. Doser picks it up down the right side. Legs just a-flying. Out over the blue line. Batted along the far wall. Gagarin, he misses it. Back comes WA. Knocked off the stick of number 66 for WA. Woo. He can't get it forward. Farrell off of her stick to the front of the net, deflected just wide. Doser after it in the corner. Looks like we're going to have a penalty call as down goes Doser. And number 33 for WA will be coming to the box for 2 or less. We'll see what the call is from the referee.
33 WA, 2 minutes for tripping.
2 for tripping. You heard Jake O'Brien with the call. The face-off will come back into the WA zone to the right of Magro. Pequeno up against Sandy on the face-off. No, it isn't. Sandy's up against, can't tell who that is from this angle. We'll see in a minute. Won by WA out into the zone. That was number 17. Back to the front of the net, Sandy. He tries to get it to the front. Checked by Pequeno and number 17 for WA, Wu. Back to the blue line. Wu can't get it out. Shot off the shin pads. Pequeno, he picks it up. Down the wing he goes, makes a couple moves, dumps it into the zone. Back forward is Kachurgan. Up onto the wing. Breaking out. Victoria over the blue line. That misses number 88, Bonato. Fired around the boards to the far blue line. Number 17 keeps it in for Victoria. 37. Back in behind the goal. Wu. Harassing wide open in front. Scores! Dylan takes that pass from the corner and buries the shot high over the shoulder of Magro. That's hard to do on the big goaltender, but he picked his spot. 4-1 now. Victoria over WA on the power play. 2 special teams goals this period. Just kind of flopped up over Magro and into the goal. Top shelf. Not quite a snipe, but pretty darn close to it. Victoria now with a power play goal and a shorthanded goal, as they scored in the second period with Doser in the penalty box for interference. Oh, to the blue line, just over the line, brought in by Lou. He loses control of it. WA picks it up again. Pequeno down the wing, takes the shot. That's deflected wide. Behind the goal, Webster. He comes out, stolen again by Pequeno to the front of the net. Looking for number 91, Morris Lou in front. It goes off his stick behind the goal. Nice little play attempt by Pequeno, the captain. Back comes Sandy, the Victoria captain. Cuts to the middle of the ice, loses it to the blue line. Kept back in, knocked in by Pequeno. No offside. Freeman takes it in deep. To the front of the net, the puck is loose. Right past the Victoria players. Blocked off the sticks, up to the blue line. Lou. He gets it knocked off his stick. Back comes Franklin. He chips it up the wing. Webster back for it. The alternate captain up onto the wing to Kai. He's been dangerous this game. Down the left side. WA over the line. He gets taken down. No call on the play. Kept in at the blue line. Now out comes Freeman. He dumps it off, and that'll go for offside, as he forgot about the blue line, and Sandy carried it in over the line, offside position. Face off to the far stand side of the rink, outside the WA blue line. 4-1 the score now, 9:53 to go in this third period. Some exciting end-to-end action there as teams exchange goals early in the third. Out to the blue line into center ice. Stopped. Fired back by Victoria. Back in by WA. Dropped back to McNamara. He can't get control of it as back comes Sandy over the blue line. Over the right side. Looks for an option. Can't get it back to Robertson. He has to go get it. WA again can't get it out over the blue line. Robertson, he keeps it in. No, it doesn't. It's blocked. And Victoria gets control of it in the neutral zone. Wishart, backhand up the wing. Back comes Dylan. Backhand pass to the front of the net. Bonato, he can't get it to go. He knocks the stick out of the WA player's hands. Bavin, back to the back door, looking for an option. Dylan fires a shot, deflected off a stick. Bonato picks it up. Back to the blue line. Fired off the skate or shin pad of the WA player behind the net. That's number 9 with it. Barber brings it out to the blue line and out. Delayed offside as it's fired back into the zone. Barber not happy, looking at the referee, not sure why. Fired out of the zone, down the ice, off the stick of Giles. That definitely made contact with the stick. I'm not sure why that's being called back for icing. But it went off the heel of Giles' stick as it was fired down the ice. Face off to the left or right of Magro, my left. Doser in against Bavin. Right into the chest of Bavin as he knocks it down. Back they come, 3-on-2. Bavin down the middle of the ice. Just loses control of it. Back to the front of the net. Bavin slides towards the goaltender. And Baumgartner freezes it for a stoppage. Ran into Wes's grandfather, Bob Bavin, in the cafeteria. Had a nice little chat. Last real encounter with Bob was back at the 2000 Joan McCowan, when the Joan McCowan and the Brown tournament were held in Adelaide. I still remember that curry chicken that he made for the whole team, both teams. Back comes Victoria over the blue line. Sandy, he gets it to the front of the net, knocked off his stick, fired off the stick of the WA player over the goal, back to the blue line, kept in. Doser, he tries to get it back. Again to the front of the net, and Magro freezes it for a face-off to his left. 29-13, shots on goal. 7:54 to go in this third period. Victoria took away some of WA's momentum, answering that quick goal to the blue line. Again, not out. WA really struggling getting the puck out of their own zone. So it gets fired across the blue line. Number 11 after it. Knocked back in by Victoria. That's big number 77. Rosa. Back into his own zone. Number 11, Lou. He goes after. Yao goes after it. Back into the neutral zone. Farrell, she chips it up onto the half boards. Intercepted. Back comes Victoria. Puck goes into the WA zone in the feet of the Victoria player. Dumped back into the neutral zone. Up onto the wing from his own side of center. Lichter. Back comes WA up to the wing. Yao gets it out into the neutral zone. Just failing to connect with that is number 56, or 55, but 66, Wang. Into the zone. Farrell gets her stick to the front of the net. Back to the blue line. Winds up for a slap shot. That kind of flutters to the front of the net. Back to the blue line. Lichter misses it. Out of the zone it comes. Picking it up, number 66 can't get control of it. Kai dumps it back into the zone. 6:28 to go in the period. Behind the goal. Picked up by number 15, Bowers. They can't get it out. Again, Victoria trapping WA in the zone. Lichter dumps it into the corner. Behind the goal, Farrell. Freeman picks it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 players on the ice, just yelling for a change, I guess. So Victoria gets in a change. Onto the ice comes Webster. He takes it over the blue line. Blocked by WA, recovered by Webster to the blue line, fired back behind the goal. Farrell picks it up. Circles around, puts it off the boards to the blue line. That's out of the zone. Wu down the ice, down the right-hand side. He cuts to the net, gets taken down. That'll draw a penalty behind the goal. And as the whistle sounds, the Victoria player, that's number 78, I believe it is, Christian Borg, will go to the box for Victoria. And WA takes the timeout with 5:29 to go in the period.
2 minutes for hooking.
So you heard the call, 78 to Victoria. Christian Borg, 2 minutes for hooking. And we'll see if WA can take this opportunity to close the gap. Victoria with one shorthanded goal already. Coach Graham mustering the troops. Might be pulling the goaltender early on this, very early, with a 3-goal deficit. We'll see what happens off the draw. Not uncommon to see that in the pros, in the NHL. At this level, who knows? Anything can happen. So Borg sitting in the box for 2 or less. Faceoff will come back into the WA zone. Magro stays in goal for now. WA looking to win that draw. At the blue line, Bowers keeps it in. Victoria, they flip it out down the ice. Back for it comes Barber. He swings around, looking for that breakout pass up onto the wing, back to the middle of the ice. Back comes Victoria, down the wing. Taken down, no penalty on the play, to the front of the net. Oh, and a great save by the goaltender on the backhand. Dillon taken down at the blue line by Barber. They exchange pleasantries as Barber says, no problem. Could have been a call there. In on the draw, Sandy. Up against Pacino. Rimmed around the boards to Poe. Poe trying to come onto it with Robertson in pursuit. He picks it up. Makes the breakout pass up to Pacino, up onto the wing. Blue, he gets it back to Barber. Barber, he breaks over the line, takes the shot, wide of the goal. That's just sitting behind the net. Clearing attempt by Victoria to the blue line, kept in by Pacino. Fired back into the corner. Tries to get it to the front of the net. Victoria back to the blue line again. Barber keeps it in, takes the shot. That's off the pad of the goaltender. Poe after it. He puts the shoulder into Robertson. Nobody goes down, so fair game apparently to the referee. Back to the front of the goal. Pacino gets his stick lifted, takes the backhand off the pads to the front of the net. Great save by Baumgartner. 4:02 to go in this period. 4:03, 34 seconds to go in the power play. Great effort by the WA side, finally getting some pressure on in the zone. And Baumgartner, the top goaltender so far in the tournament on save percentage, was there to stop the opportunity. Face-off win by Victoria. They take over, though, off the draw. Sandy down the right-hand side, 1-on-3, 1-on-5. Gets it to the net. Oh, that gets trapped under the toe of Magro. And that had a chance to go. Sandy took the shot from just inside the blue line, going down the right wing. And Magro just got enough pressure on that toe to trap the puck. Otherwise, that was going in for a second shorthanded goal for the captain. Face off to the right of Magro. 21 seconds to go in the power play. Won by Sandy to the front of the net. Knocked down by WA. Puck sitting there. Good battle. Williams picks it up, and out he comes. Gets it up to number 7, Bavin. Over the line, Williams. He backhands it. Back comes Sandy. Again, 1-on-3, 1-on-4. 4 WA jerseys around him. Takes it to the front of the net and right into the glove of the goaltender. Doesn't score, but kills off the end of that power play. As back onto the ice is number 78, Christian Borg. Magro with a bit of an equipment issue, tying up his pads. Victoria gets a late change. Magro all set, getting his gloves back on. Base off to his left. 33-15, shots on goal, 3:26 to go. 4-1 the scoreline. One by WA, pushed forward, down the wing. Williams, he tries to make the pass. It goes behind him. He's still onside, gets it deep into the corner. After it is McNamara. Tries to get it to the front of the net. It does. Right into the chest pads of Baumgartner for the stoppage. So WA still pressing. And Victoria not bending. Face off to the left of Baumgartner. One by WA, shot off the face-off, goes wide behind the goal. After it is McNamara. He tries to get it back to the blue line, chipped off the boards. Robertson. One by WA to the front of the net, takes a shot off the shin pads, a backhand shot, low, sitting there loose, back to the blue line, and failing to keep it in, number 55, Buderick, back into the zone. Buderick has it between his legs. He hand passes it across to his teammate, but intercepted. Back comes Victoria. A backhand to the front of the net. 72 goes down. Down it comes down the ice. That's McNamara, number 7, Wes Bavin after it. Bavin chips it behind the goal. Loses control of it. Out comes a new defensive pairing on the change. Back comes number 96 for Victoria. That's Zhang, I believe. Into the zone. Dillon chases after it. He's up against 2 WA players. Dillon to the front of the net. That goes off the back. And WA rims it around the boards. Pinching number 77, Rosa. Tries to get it to the front of the net. Off the skate of Pacino. He doesn't know it's there. Dump back to the front of the net to the blue line. That gets out. Down goes number 91, Lou. He's in on a break. Wishart trying to catch up. Takes a shot. Oh, and just off his stick. Back to the blue line it goes. Kept in. Backhanded to the blue line, but not out. Glorious chance by Lou on that play. Don't know how that stayed out of the goal. Pinned in at the blue line. Fired again off the back of the skates of number 12. Fired to the front of the net. It's loose. Oh, and the referee loses sight of it as number 91 had it beside the net, but unfortunately for WA, the referee lost sight of it and blew the whistle. And he slid the puck into the goal after the whistle from his knees. If it were the NHL or junior hockey, he would have probably ended up with a bit more of a reaction from the Victoria players. Face-off win to the left of the goaltender. Won again by Victoria, but taken over by WA. Back into the corner, Liu. He has the puck pinned along with his stick to the boards. Trying to get it out of the zone. Liu picks it up, takes it from the corner, gets it to the front of the net, over the stick of Poe. WA trying to get at least one back. Pacino gets it to the front of the net, off the stick of the WA player, back to the point, 50 seconds to go. Kept in again, bounces. Back comes number 88, Bonato. He tries to put it through the legs of the WA defender. Doesn't go. Back comes WA. Again, Lou can't get it over the line. Through the middle, McNamara up to Lou. He gets it to the front of the net to Poe. Poe loses it in his stick, or skates. Fires it wide. Back to the blue line. Victoria can't get it out, but it won't really matter as Bonato comes over the blue line. Onside, cuts to the middle of the net. Good stick by Poe. Goes behind the goal. Cutting back towards the front of the net. Fired up onto the wing. Down the ice it goes, and that'll do it for this third period as Victoria and WA exchange goals. 4-1 is the final. As we get set to summarize things. Thanks, Matt. That third period, Williams from Bavin and Barber to make it close, 3-1 at 12:52. And then just over a minute later, at 11:18, Dillon from Bonata and Rosa, a power play goal, make it 4-1. 2 penalties to Farrell for Western Australia, tripping at 12:12, and Borg for Victoria for hooking at 5:29. Shots on goal, 7-6 in favor of Victoria for a 3-period total of 34-17. Victoria 1 for 1 on the power play with a shorthanded goal. Western Australia 0 for 2. So final score 4-1. The next game up at 1:45, Tange game between Victoria and ACT. Finley Gordon will be bringing the play-by-play on that game as I head off for some afternoon duties. Try and get my phone fixed for one thing. For Louis on the camera, Cass Edwards and on the production side of things, this is Chris Langell. We'll see y'all then.